For me, Mike.
Yeah. Was it intentional to have Nolan and Steve work together a little bit? Like, are they not going to be rotating for each other?
Intentional, unintentional. Yeah, I'm mixing teams every couple days. So this is only day 3. So of doing this. So we're still in the infancy stages of mixing and matching positions and who's the combinations. I'll flip them around again, either early next week or late this weekend.
But Nolan probably had to be his backup last year, whereas this year, would you see them playing alongside each other?
They could. More? I mean, we're working on it. You know, we tried to work on it a little bit last year. I think Nolan's better prepared this year to be able to do that. So,
what ways has he improved?
He's stronger. You know, he's up probably 15 pounds or so. So, and I think just anytime a freshman goes through and they can get experience, that's why I like to get freshmen if they show signs of being ready, at least a little bit of, run, because it helps them into year 2. It gives them a true taste of what it's like, and I think it gave him a better idea of how to prepare in the off season. How important the weight room was, what he needed to work on. So all those things. I think we see that with John too, with Blackwell. That you see the jump that you should see because of the experience they got.
You've got a good group of young guards and some new faces. Cam Hunter, John, Daniel as well in there. What have you kind of seen from the development, maybe from the spring to where you are now?
Well, I think the newcomers have all taken a while to get adjusted and become comfortable. And I think whether it was through the summer, late into when we were here late July and August, and even coming back here in early September when we were doing these small group workouts, that they kept getting more and more traction. And John Tonjik's not here, obviously he's at his brother's wedding, but he's one of them too, even though he's a 6-year player. It's a new environment. It's new teammates, new locker room, new staff, new terminology. So I think for all of them, there's been a little bit of an adjustment, and then you see a surge. And I think Freitag, the freshmen, are very much in the same boat. I thought Daniel did some good things today, but the game has also slowed down for him. He was definitely, he got a lot of speeding tickets in the summer. He was going way too fast for what it relates to success in college. So he's figuring some of that out, but we got a long ways to go.
Some of his physical ability allowed him to catch up quickly with other guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously pretty well put together for a freshman. And his burst, you can see the stop-start, some of the hesitation stuff he does. He's got the ability, athletic ability is there. It's a matter of just maturing in terms of how you see the game. You got to know when you're in the school zone and when you're on the interstate, and then that's something that I think he's gotten better at since June. But obviously, these are all first for him. He's got a first. His practice was Monday. The first scrimmage coming up. This is really the first time we've done any 5-on-5 since we started Monday. So just continue to help him with it, spoon-feed with it. But he's aggressive, he's confident. The older guys too, I think, have done a good job. Blackwell's done a good job with him. He's done a good job with him. And recognizing he's pretty talented, you need to help him, mature really quick.
As far as Daniel, one thing you notice just out here, he's on the floor a lot. He doesn't seem like a guy that's afraid to mix it up that way. I guess I'm wondering, has that kind of been a consistent trait you kind of seen beyond today?
Well, I like football players. They're not afraid of contact. Danny was a good football player too. And they have a little different mindset about them. Not that non-football players can't be successful, but typically the guys that have played high school football have a little better sense of how impactful contact can be, and not afraid to stick your nose in. So I think he's learning. He's aggressive. I think his defense is probably a little ahead of his offense, but his recognition, he's young. I don't know if he's had the help of and of course ball screens and certain things. So a lot of this stuff is new for him. Better ahead of that, so it's going to take time for him to become habitual for him where it's instinctual.
Obviously, had a freshman year where he's jumps in his game so well.
It's just a confidence that he just feels he's the best player on the floor. And I think that's the jump you'd expect him to take. I think physically he's gotten better too. That's obvious just looking at him, but just watching his confidence and the aura about him. He wants to be the best player, and that's his goal, is to be good as possible, be one of the best players in the league. But I think the mindset, much like we talked about with Nolan, John got more experience than Nolan did, but just watching all that pay benefits he's been there, done that. He grabbed me earlier in the fall, coach, and I remember a year ago, I didn't know which way I was going, up and down, and now it's just like, all right, yeah, you've been here, just much more relaxed.
Obviously, the transfers, you see them, you don't really know until they get to it. Has anything stood out about them that they didn't see on tape, but stood out?
Yeah, I think they're all more physical. Specifically, Tajay and Hunter are more physical than what you can tell on tape. And obviously, both of them didn't have a lot from last year. If you go back to when John was at Colorado State, and obviously Cameron's 2 years at Central Arkansas, how physical they were and how they played. That you don't see that too. You really get them up close. You can't tell that much. So I think with Xavier, I don't know if we thought he'd be this skilled. I thought he was more of a one-trick pony as a catch-and-shoot guy, and he's got more to his game than that. He's gotten incredibly strong too. He's average. And I think added close to 15 pounds as well. He's never trained like he trained, so it's made a big difference for him.
Xavier, does he give you some of the things you might have missed in Tyler Wall last year? Some guarding 1 through 5 today, and looked like he rebounded the ball pretty well too.
He does, yeah, and obviously he shoots it. That's probably the thing he comes in most often and decorated for, but he's got more to his game than just being a shooter.
Ricardo's obviously the latest arrival for you guys. What's
Who's
been
that?
Ricardo's the latest, but what's the biggest thing you've been trying to work on since you got him in the building?
Well, thankfully he's really good with English, so I don't have to learn any Italian. But for him, it's been drinking out of a fire hose. I mean, 3 days after he got here, we're on Bascom Hill running, so it's just been a lot for him. And there's moments when he say, okay, you see, and then there's moments, as we saw some today, where he's not sure which ways he's going. So it's been a lot thrown at him in a short amount of time. That's the disadvantage we just have to deal with, that he wasn't here for 8 weeks. So just catch him up to speed as fast as possible, get him accustomed to the weight room, which he's never lifted like this before. So we're just, we're throwing a lot at him every single day, and he's handled it well. He's great. He's very coachable, asks the right questions, really is receptive to coaching. You can get after him, and he responds. So for him, it's just every day trying to take another step. And I didn't know if he would make it off Bascom Hill the first day. And then by week 2 and week 3, and as we finished up, he was doing really well. So and that's always you never know about anybody, whether you recruit them for 3 weeks or recruit them for 3 years. How do they handle mental adversity? And that's always our first challenge, is when we take them out there and they face some adversity. And his teammates did a good job of pushing him, and he responded.
When it comes to some of those transfers, last year they were dealing with some major injuries. When it comes to incorporating them with the team early on, how did you kind of deal with that as you're trying to figure out what this new look team looks like?
And just maximize every day. And they were all here for the summer. Most of them, all 3 of them, Xavier, Cam, and John, all came early. They came before our report day was back in June. So, and they came back early in September to get another head start on things. So they've been all in, invested in it. We're all learning. I'm still learning their games, and they're learning what we're doing. And but the progress has been good. I think we're a ways from being able to put a finished product on the floor. But what I've liked about this group is just their collective competitiveness. They're just every day they're at each other, and we haven't any fights yet, but we've come close, which is good. I mean, they know we're got a lot of people vying for positions, and the pecking order will sort itself out in time.
You also mentioned Daniel's ability to make plays for himself, but is it going to take a little bit longer with him and Cam working out of that point guard spot to try to create for others a little bit within this offense?
They're learning. Which Cam are you referring to, McGee or Hunter?
Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, we'll play. I used Danny a little bit today at the 2 as well, so I think we can play multiple ball handlers together, which is the nice thing. One of the benefits of what we're doing offensively with the continuous ball screens, and we can put. I'd like to have 3 ball handlers on the floor all the time. So just about, as I tell them, it's not this isn't rocket science, right? We're not doing open heart surgery where you really, this is basketball, so it's about making good decisions. It's not changing a whole lot. The guys are bigger, stronger, faster, more experienced that you're playing against, but it's still about making good decisions. So, they'll learn that through trial and error as we go through practice.
When the transfer portal, obviously, was this kind of one of your hardest off seasons as a coach? And if so, how did you kind of maybe grow this off season?
I wouldn't say harder. I would just say different. And we're in an era of change, and you have to adapt and you have to adjust, and you can't let it fluster you. And that's why I even put together the staff I did. I saw this coming down the road in college basketball, and we needed to adapt and get ready for it. And the staff has done a great job. They've all been in an environment where there's been a turnstile of some sort, whether it's the professional leagues or other college programs, and they bring a ton of experience. There's not really anything that's been thrown at us that one of these guys hasn't had experience with. So when I do a lot of listening in the coaches meetings that we have, because I fire out what I feel are the things we have to get better at and what the challenges are, and not only with this group, but what's coming yet down the road in college athletics. So that's been the neat part about this group of coaches, that I've got a ton of experience from so many different places and so many different venues of basketball, whether it's professionally, NBA, overseas, different colleges, different levels. I mean, it's a pretty complete bag of the game of basketball that sits in our office every day. So that's helped us. It's helped, I think, our players. I think it's helped us continue to evolve as a program and stay ahead of the curve, so to speak, in this new era, because the new era isn't going back. We're not reverting back to 2004. We're in an era where we got to continue to adjust to the climate and things that are thrown at us, and this group has done a good job of that.
Pretty sure Max stopped rotating in.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure Max stopped rotating
Yeah.
in towards the end. Is he dealing with anything?
Yeah, he's on a rehab process back from an ankle sprain, so he's on a little bit of a pitch count. He's a pretty well-known commodity, what we can do. So we need him in October, November, December, and beyond to let those younger guys get more reps and learn right now. All good?